Okay, so we like Reddit. Am I the asshole? I happen to go to the best voted, the best rated.
Ooh.
Am I the asshole? The past two are the best rated ones on the whole.
Let's do it.
Juicy.
So this one, and this is the title. Am I the asshole for despising my mentally handicapped sister? Let's get into it.
Oh my
Let's
God.
get into it. How can we make this not the asshole, right? That's tough.
We're gonna find out.
I don't know because I think it's actually fair to treat them as a human being who can be fucked up from time to time.
Is the sister taking all the attention away from them?
Of course. No. So here's the thing. Of course.
Well, just because someone is mentally disabled doesn't make them an angel.
Of course.
I
But
totally agree.
No, but
the title they call themselves out. They say immediately, the title makes me sound horrible. Please hear me out. My sister is severely autistic. She requires attention almost 24/7. Cannot be left alone. She is nonverbal. Cannot take care of herself at all.
it's tough.
Not the case for everybody. But despite the fact that she is only 12, she's extremely destructive and violent and destroys anything that she gets her hands on.
Wait, is it autism? Is she autism?
Yeah, she's severely autistic. Yeah.
I used to teach autism kids.
Yeah, she teaches autistic
Oh, okay.
kids.
Yeah.
Which is, you're a saint for doing some of that stuff.
Well,
Indeed.
Were any of them violent towards you?
no, I mean, yes, they try to, but we replace their behavior to the other stuff.
Like what?
Like when, for example, if they kick the chair, we can give them a ball.
To kick the ball?
Kick the
Oh,
ball.
replace it. I see.
Replaced it.
Okay, cool.
You need to see my kid. we'll figure out. We'll replace some things.
Well, yes, I'm thinking
Spitting.
spitting. I don't know about that.
Yeah, in third grade, my friend's brother was autistic. I never seen an autistic kid. He was blind as well.
Oh, shit.
Autistic and blind. So I didn't know what was happening. But like I came over and he had like a rocking horsey. And then I came in the living room and he was just going like this and yelling while he was rocking on the horse. And I was like, dude, this guy's like a child, but he's bigger than me. Like he's in a diaper. And I was like, I couldn't make sense of it, but I was like, let's go play. And I was like, oh, he's just blind. And then we were playing and I came back and he's been doing the same thing for like 5 hours.
That's a severe
Yeah, he's just like,
Severe
like this,
autism.
shaking.
Severe autism.
Yeah, and yelling and making weird baby noises. But he was maybe junior high or something. Like he was like a big kid in a diaper.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I grew up my whole life with my aunt, my mom's sister, and she's mentally challenged. You know, she's we would say slow. You know,
Your mom's sister.
my mom's sister, but she grew up in the same house like my whole life. But
So your aunt?
my aunt.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is like, we didn't know about autism, nothing back then, and it's something where she actually seemed very regular. If you just were talking to her, she was like, you couldn't tell, but she's probably like maybe mentally.
Like Forrest Gump, right? Like you don't know until you like really have a conversation.
Right.
You're like,
Yeah, autism in and out.
And, but I
It's like when you're talking to an actor who's an Oscar award winner, who's pretending to be something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
But the thing is crazy is like what her like mental retardation or whatever that is like she's still alive. It's like in a weird way, it's like she can't lie. Like she can't lie.
Yeah.
And it's like you'd ask her, like she just can't lie. She will tell you the truth.
Like not even a white lie.
oh, what is that when they're so matter of fact? Is that Asperger's?
I think so. It's supposed to be.
Well, nowadays
Super
it's,
literal, right?
Everything is like, yeah, is that Asperger's?
well, I think now it's all autism. It's like on the spectrum.
It's all on the spectrum of some
different
sort.
spectrum.
So everyone's like different. Like some people are like what you said, nonverbal. Some people are like very communicative. You know, so it really depends.
So this person goes forward to say, "I hate her."
Oh.
That should be wrong to say, but it doesn't feel wrong. I was only 6 years old. She was born, and since then I've never solely had my parents' attention. Ever since I can remember, the world has revolved around her. I was moved out of my room into the basement at 7 because she needed to be in the room next to my parents. All of my toys as a child were destroyed by her, and my parents simply ignored me when I complained. Even when I was 14 and she destroyed a Mac at my school, a Mac that my school gave me, I was in the wrong for that. Along with this, I'm expected to take care of her and drop everything that I do for her. I can never make plans with a friend because my parents expect me to be there if they need me to take care of her. Even when I somehow get time to myself, I'm required to leave if they need me. If I do not, then I am punished. The recent example of this is when I went to see the new Spider-Man movie and was grounded because I turned my phone off in the theater. It seems as if I am nothing more than a slave to them, and anything involving her simply overshadows me. This last week, I was chosen to give a speech at a school event. I was so excited, and my parents promised to be there, but they never showed up and claimed it was because of my sister. Anytime anything happens like this for me, they are too busy with her. I've held on to this for so long, and it finally spilled out today. While talking about colleges with my father, he joked that I should get a degree that pays so well that when they're gone, I can take care of my sister. I don't know why, but this caused me to break down. I cried and screamed about how it's always about her. I'm nothing more than a caretaker. They always make it about her, and I'm always expected to be her slave for the rest of my life. I'm locked. I've locked myself in my room since then, and my parents have not come to check on me. Am I the asshole here?
That's a
Yes and
tough
no.
one.
Isn't that tough?
Yes and no.
Your parents gotta figure something out. Better parenting for sure.
If it's resentment that she wants to feel, it shouldn't be towards the sister. It should be towards the
I
parents.
completely agree.
She's not valid. She's not being validated by the parents.
This is what happens when, like, you know, Taika has a sibling, or like maybe Isaac has a sibling,
Right.
and they just for some reason just start lashing out at the sibling, even though it's the parents who are in control.
I think one of the parts that's messed up is their parents, it seems like, at least from their perspective, they're putting the child raising responsibility on the kid. And I think, like, as a parent, that is 100% your responsibility. I think it's awesome to teach that you gotta care for your brothers and sisters, but that's not their responsibility.
You can't demand it.
Yeah, you can't demand it. Like, you can't just be like, mom and dad want to be out, you got to take care of them. I think at the end of the day, it's still the parents' responsibility. It's a plus, and it's good to have, you know, that sibling support and all that, but the way that they make it seems like everything revolves around the other kid when that kid is the parent's responsibility.
And I mean, like, there is some entitlement there, but some of it is like justified because she didn't have a childhood.
No.
Like, and she was basically the parents. Who knows what their childhood was, right? But then they decided to pop this kid out. They decided to do this, but they got to grow up to being an adult, right? And who knows if they had responsibilities or whatnot, but they had that life. She was always responsible for someone else from 6 on.
Yeah.
So that fucking sucks. If I was her friend or whatever, I'll tell her, get a fucking job, get the fuck out of that house, and say peace. You fucking deal with this bullshit.
That's the resolve, the solution. I mean, that's her sister, and then it's just a family thing, and also, like, we go to school for college, like we go to school for become a doctor, we go to school for become a lawyer, we go to school to become an actor, whatever. We never go to school to become a parents. We just had a sex and we're pregnant and we become a parent, and we don't know how to become a parent, and nobody taught us how to become a parent. So these
Some people told me I
problems
went to
sounds like
university, but
these sounds like this parents is not a responsible parents at all in the first place. And then if that happened, that situation and happened like that, kid's been autism for such a long time, they should be let the professionals involved with it and take care of it and treat it, and doesn't let that sister or the
You
other
need to get
child
some other help
feel,
in there. You need some doctors.
the child
you need some
feel like
caretakers.
I mean, she sounds like she never had a childhood, and she been feel so stressed, and she wants resentful, and she's being like little. Like, what is that? Like, in some people's
Petty.
eyes, like a patty and a bread, like being like very like, oh, this is your sister. Why didn't you just being responsible? No, it's not. It's autism kid. It's a different scenario.
So is she an asshole or no?
No, I don't think so. She's not an asshole. She's being a human being. She just has emotions.
She's frustrated.
Frustrated. Like, when you feel frustrated, well, baby feel frustrated, baby cry. When adults feel frustrated, they just speak stuff and they just compare to this, that, and they feel unfair, untreated, not equally.
To me, this is like it's a fuck situation. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
It's like it's
it's
either
so
or,
right.
right? But I think we've all been in certain situations where it's kind of a fuck situation.
We all are
and
autism.
I'd always be like,
Yes.
like this person, and I've been in a caretaker situation in the past
Yes,
thing I did,
am.
and I was like, what have I done in my life or past life to end up here right now doing this? And I start to think like, I gotta suck it up. Like, sometimes you go like, fuck it, it's just like
But also,
it's my sister.
it's also
I gotta suck it up.
perspective, right? Like, you could either look at it as punishment or you could look at it as something else.
That's
Like,
what I'm
it
saying.
just
I would
it just
do that.
depends on how you want to tell yourself what the story is. But the other thing is, like, in this situation, how old is this girl?
High school, huh?
She's graduating high school.
Yeah,
She's
and
graduating. That's-
you hate so easily, you love so easily at that age.
Yeah, it's true. It's a tough time
I've
for her.
hated my siblings and my parents, and who hasn't at high school?
Yeah.
And you still do sometimes, you know, and that's normal.
She was 6 when this person was born, so it's like been with this person the whole time.
Yeah, but I think it's like just because they're a mentally disabled person, they're like, oh, you should never hate them. It's like, fuck that. We hate not like just. We hate everybody.
I hate traffic
my
cones.
family.
I hate construction workers when it's on the freeway that I'm on. I like them. I like them otherwise.
Especially at this time period, nobody is mentally stable. Like we all have problems. We just know how do you take care of them, how do you act it, how do you talk, how do you communicate. But people like this, I mean, some people does not know how to express themselves properly, and then that's called autism. So, I mean, I don't think she's a bad person. She's just being. Like she's frustrated.
She's
If I was
frustrated,
her-
but also she's a teenager, and she locked herself in the room and she wrote this note.
Yeah.
I mean,
Some self-awareness there.
Lashing out.
She's lashing out. Look,
She's also looking for a different perspective. She's like,
Yeah.
I feel this. Am I guilty of this? Someone help me. I
Yeah.
need a different perspective.
but she's also writing like, she making us think she's like Cinderella right now, and her whole last 12 years of her life have been pure slavery. Which I'm sure if you talk to friends, like I don't think her whole life has been slavery.
She got a Game Boy.
Yeah.
She just had a fight with her parents about, and you can feel some
Yeah,
type of way.
that's that
It
perspective.
could be
as
like,
well.
you know,
Yeah.
we don't know her. You could be a bitch.
You
We
could
don't
be
know.
rich. We don't know.
Yeah. We've had plenty of those friends in high school where they're like, oh, my parents, they treat me like so fucked up, and you go like, dude, your parents love you.
Yeah.
This is so different.
I wanted the white BMW. They got me the black one.
I know, dude. I had a friend that said that same. You know what she said? She goes, "My dad didn't even listen to me. He got me the BMW. I just wanted the Accord." And I'm like, "You fucking bitch! You know what? I had."
She doesn't know her karma.
I had to buy my own car, you bitch.
Dude, I
Because
knew.
you feel unfair though, like you think that the kids, some kids, that the parents they buy them the car, and then you have to buy your own car. You feel like this is unfair. That's why you got mad, or just because of their behavior.
The not grateful, ungrateful. Yeah.
I knew a chick who she had a brand new Prius. Somebody bumped into it slightly. Her dad bought her a new Prius.
Oh
What?
my god!
I'll buy the other Prius.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. These are the problem. It's not about the kid. It's about the parents.
Yeah.
That's all the.
And that's what it seems like, right? If this is all true from what she's saying, but it's probably not. There's probably some.
There's some.
Yeah, there's a
So
little bit of
I'm like-
everything.
Yo, you
could
gotta
be a
go
straight
to
up
school
slave.
to become a
Yeah,
parent. It's
parent
not just
school.
you had a sex and you just become a parent. Like there's a
You gotta learn how to have sex too.
But
You gotta learn how to lay it down right.
Parent school, sex school.
Yeah, bro.
it could the autistic child. Could be hard. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be
Very
rough.
tough. Very challenging, I'm sure.
very challenging. Yeah, I taught autism kids.
How do you know if they have autism? If I show you my kid, will you know if he has autism or not?
No, they don't look you in the
No,
eyes.
They don't look at your eyes. They call.
They're
call.
like-
There's few.
They
few,
do stuff. They like they do stuff
What
like
if I'm
this.
sleeping? He wakes up at like 4:30 in the morning. He comes, he slaps me in the face. He goes, "It's morning time."
That's not autism. That's,
That's
just
not
a G.
He just got a big old dick. That's what that sounds like.
That's, you should
I know-
tell them like, "Yo, I'm your parents. I'm your dad. Don't freaking slap me."
What if he sits there on a tricycle and he starts saying "Red Room"?
What's red?
You're like, oh, you like the chat?
That's murder backers. But there's. So I was talking to this
Fuck out.
another friend of mine. Her kid has autism, and then my nephew has autism. And they have one of my nephews, all this kind of stuff. But then all of a sudden, like he has perfect pitch. Like something drops, and he's like, "Ding!" He's like D minor, like
Yeah.
D sharp.
Extremely
And so, like,
smart.
these
with
people are
specific
talking-
Thing.
A lot of these autistic kids, and there's so many more
kids.
autistic kids than ever recorded in the history of time. But they have autism. They have all these problems, but they also have like special skills.
That's called
Rain
a
Man.
savant, right?
Yeah, they like all have a savant. You just gotta find what their special shit is.
Yeah, you have to improve.
Which is
that
weird.
part.
And they're saying to a degree a lot of the most successful people in the history
They all have autism.
had autism, like
yes,
Einstein, Elon Musk. Like
Einstein,
in order to be
yes.
like these super successful people, they got autistic. They got about one thing.
And they knew how to channel.
Like a minor, they had like
Yeah.
minor autism.
autism, yeah.
I'm like, what? And so like maybe this new mutant, there's like the new autistic kids are like the new mutants for like the next generation.
I'm just glad that we had the movie Rain Man to show us what every autism person's like.
They're so separate. They're like the
Isn't that
X-Men.
dope?
They have the different. They can have different skills.
They have different.
We've all met somebody that was like, this guy might be on the spectrum.
Right.
and he was completely normal, or he or she was completely normal. They have like a job, they have a living and everything. And you're like, there's something to this person.
I just wanted an autistic friend that could help me beat blackjack tables.
You know what I'm saying?
Fingers crossed, yo. Fingers crossed.
Make a lot of money. Yeah.
gotta find one.